Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, Season 3, Episode 11, I Saw the Sign. Now, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel, join the family. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, leave your comments because, of course, I would like to know what couple or individual that you thought was doing the most on this episode, and honestly, who deserves the side eye? I could think of at least two this evening, possibly three that deserve the side eye, whether it be individual as a couple. Did I say that right? Individual as a single or as a couple. So let's get into it. So on tonight's episode, we see Valentine and Carlos, Scott and Liz, which is Scott's ex-girlfriend-ish. That's from Colombia that ghosted him. He broke up with Lidia and now she's in town. So that's Scott. We have Matthew and Anna. We also have Everton and Jordan on this episode. So let's start with Valentine and Carlos. Let's just go ahead and get them out the way. Okay. So Valentine is at a park or a park bench or somewhere in the city waiting on Carlos to bring the things he left at either the hotel or the apartment, because apparently he's going home tomorrow and he wants to make sure he has all his stuff. Now, see, here's my thing. When he left the hotel after, I'm guessing the hotel, right? When they broke up for the umpteenth time, but this time they decided they were not getting married. Have you all ever heard the saying, like, don't take half your stuff, take all your stuff? Valentine knows good and well he should take all his stuff. As much as he walked around the apartment or hotel or Airbnb, wherever they were, looking for stuff, hoping that Carlos would say, oh, I'm sorry, apologize, and maybe they could brush whatever underneath the rug yet again. Yeah, take all your stuff next time, Valentine. It didn't work out. All right, so now Carlos actually is nice enough to bring him his things, and before he gets there, Valentine said in confessional that, he's hoping that maybe if Carlos comes with a pure heart and a real apology from the heart, that maybe he would consider taking him back and they can move on. But, that's what would happen first. But when Carlos gets there, he says, hey, how are you? The look that Carlos gives Valentine, just stone face and just like, is you? Yeah. Okay, I'm like, which one is it? Are you stone-faced trying to present like maybe you're receptive to an apology or whatever conversation you're looking for, or not? Because the body language, the stank face didn't give that off at all. And guess what? Carlos picked up on that. He said, you know what? Here's your things. Sorry it didn't work out. I wish you the best and no hard feelings. And Valentine said, well, I wish you the best too. But everything was just so dry. Okay. So when Carlos left to go home or wherever he was going, but when he hit the corner, he started crying. Now, Carlos is way more emotional. Not saying Valentine hasn't been, but Carlos is definitely more emotional than Carlos, not just in this moment, but in many moments as we've seen as the show has progressed and going forward, that he says that it's hard for him to see someone that you love not reciprocate that to you. And then as, Valentine was doing, sitting there stone cold face, because Carlos said, if that's the type of face he could give on the outside, imagine what's on the inside. Cold face equals a cold heart, and Carlos don't want that. All right. So then when we see Valentine and Carlos again, they're in separate locations. Apparently it's the day that Carlos and Valentine would have gotten married. So Carlos meets his family at the beach, and it's a lot of people there, and Carlos is emotional. They tell them it's okay. It's natural to feel these type of emotions, and they are standing behind. Did I say Carlos? I'm sorry. They're standing behind Valentine. My bad if I said. I'm saying it right. I'm reading my notes and thinking too fast at the same time. They're standing behind Valentine. Okay, they're letting him know it is okay. It's okay to have these emotions about Valentine, and you know what? You're young. You'll find someone. Don't worry. And so Carlos was again crying in confessional, saying that it was Valentine's pushing to get him to come out to his family because he didn't think the type of family, the culture that they would be accepting of him being gay. And they are, and he just was really thankful that they have stood behind him. So that was very nice that his family could be there to comfort him. Valentine, it's the next day, same day they're getting married. He's checking out the hotel. He's still in his feelings, talking about, it wouldn't even be this way if Carlos would just put him first as a priority, because he did put Carlos a priority all this time, but he just can see what he saw. And Carlos said, Valentine said, to be honest, he said, I'm going to move on. And whoever that Carlos has, male or female, to help him move on and get to where he's going, that's fine, because it's no longer his responsibility. Is it just me, or does Valentine sound like he's being salty? Okay. And I apologize if I mixed the names up, but it was like a little mix of both, thinking about each other in the same way. So they kind of like ran together. But Carlos and Valentine are no longer together. And Valentine is on his way back to LA to live his life. So best of luck to them both. All right. So let's move on. So let's go to Scott and Liz. So Scott said it's the second day that Liz came into town. Again, Liz is the Colombian ex-girlfriend that ghosted him. And I guess that Scott has planned a beach getaway that was originally for Lidia, but since that didn't work out, he's taken Liz. So while they're in the car, they're on their way to the beach. Scott is beyond overly excited, okay? Scott is like a first time having a girlfriend as a teenager or young adolescent, because he is just like tripping over his words. He's falling over himself. He's asking Liz all kind of questions like, how do you feel about me? Do you ready to move to America? He said, I still love you. I can't wait to do all the things that I want to do with you. You're my Columbia queen. He wants to love her and protect her. The whole time, Liz is sitting in the passenger seat of the van looking at Scott like, can we just slow down a little bit? Can we just have fun? And so in confessional, Liz is saying, she feels like Scott is being desperate. She feels pressure. She says that in the beginning, when they first met, Scott was very nice. He was very open, romantic. But as time went on, he's becoming more pushy and more, I don't know, like needy. And she doesn't like that. She feels like I think she was trying to say she was feeling smothered. Scott keeps saying again in the car ride the whole time, because Liz says, let's slow down. Scott is just like hugging on her, reaching over to kiss her, just very touchy feely. And she just really is trying to like get a quick little breath of peace of mind. Like, can she just like relax and enjoy the ride? So when Scott and Liz make it to the hotel, they check in, they go to the room, but it's not even, I don't know, I think they said 2 hours later, you see Scott sitting with his phone talking to production, and you see Liz going to the hotel room crying. And it's like, what is going on? Well, Scott says that he don't know either. He just knows that before that he was ghosted by Liz, and whatever he did wrong or whatever he said, he wants to make it right. And so he gets up and he goes to talk to Liz. She's like, no, can I please have just peace of mind? Let me think. And so Liz is packing her stuff. At the time, didn't know what she was packing for, but we found out. Scott was like, can I just talk to you? Please give me a minute. Liz says, no, I just need a minute. So then Liz gets her duffel bag, leaves out the door, and apparently she's going to go get another hotel room because she can't take the pressure that Scott seems to be putting on her to be, I don't know, maybe more romantic, to rekindle things, just to talk about what happened in the past, and just, I guess everything's just like compounding, one on top of the other on top of the other, and she can't take the pressure. Now, at the same time, Liz is 29 and Scott is about 51, 2, 3 around that area. So Scott is acting, like I said, a little immature for his age at the time, falling all over here. But Scott is also trying to make the point of, in confessional anyways, that the reason why he's doing it because he doesn't want to lose her. He said he can close his eyes, and if he takes his last breath, he can see his kids on one side and Liz on the other. So, but it's too much. Scott is also saying in confessional that he's trying to figure out what to do, and he fears about losing her again. And if he does, it'll be devastating. All right, so let's move to Matthew and Anna. So I guess Matthew and Anna have rekindled things again, or back on the same page, because remember earlier in the day from last week, it just kind of transferred over. Matthew told Anna the secret that the K-1 visa would be delayed up to 2 years. Anna took that a different way. She was crying and emotional because she really thought that Matthew was lying to her about the timeline. But there's nothing Matthew can do. I mean, how can he push along the paperwork? And who's to say the paperwork would be approved anyway? So that is a gamble off top. Well, Matthew still goes ahead with the dinner plans. He's setting up the table. They're at a little cute Airbnb. He's got wine. He's got, different little things as a setup for the, I don't know, whatever dinner or snacks they're going to have. And so he's saying it's his last night because tomorrow he's got to go home, and hopefully he can come back if the visa hasn't been approved, still in processing, in 5 months. So I guess Anna feels better because when Scott is getting things together, here comes Anna out the bathroom and asks him, well, are you ready for your surprise? Or whatever she said, pretty much a surprise. And she opened up her trench coat or towel or whatever she had on, and boom, she had on some lingerie. And I'm here to tell you, the lingerie was cute. If you can get into that type of lingerie and make it work out, yeah, it was doing it. And listen, Matthew was like, whoa, at a loss for words. Anna, I'm sure she was thinking, he's going to have something he will remember. I know we're going to be apart for almost or up to 2 years, and I don't want him to forget about me. So I'm going to give him something he can feel and something he won't forget. So Anna was like, okay, it's time. You ready for your massage? And Matthew was like, yeah. And next, we see them the next morning. So clearly they did whatever it is they had to do. All right. So it's the next morning. It's time for Matthew to go home. It's emotional, but you know what? He said he's going to be back no matter what. He said he knows that their love will stand the test of time. And that was Matthew's response. Now, Anna said that she loves Matthew and she can't wait to be with him again. A piece of her is lost when he goes home, but that was inside the airport, right? Now, when she got outside the airport, talking to producers, she said, you know what? If I got to wait a year or two, I waited all my life, then that's okay. That's what I'll do. So Anna is trying to get to America no matter what, and she just hopes that Matthew don't forget about her. But you know what? Matthew won't. He won't. He's not that kind of guy. Nah. Matthew will still be around. So Anna, I don't think you have to worry at all. Okay, so let's move to Everton and Jordan. You know what? I have been waiting the whole season to see how this was going to play out because it took a minute. So Everton and Jordan are packing up to go back to the hotel after spending time with Everton's family. Now, remember in last week's episode, Everton's family, because Jordan had just met them for the first time in 12 years on the on and off relationship, asked Everton, was he going to marry Jordan? And his answer was like, no, I'm not ready. And the family got up, said, you know what? We'll be in the house. You figure it out. And that caused a big to-do with Jordan. But see, you know what? Jordan was reserved. She didn't want to show her butt because she was at someone else's house. She wanted to respect the mother's house. But Jordan said, she's going to wait for the right time. Okay. So now, like I said, it's the next day. They're packing to go home. Jordan and Everton give their goodbyes, and then they're headed to another little resort town to meet up with Everton's friend Sheldon, who's there from the Caymans. That they've been friends for a while, and they met him at the. I read the name of the sign of the place they met at. It was called the Gold Teeth Jerk Chicken. So I'm guessing the jerk chicken hut, excuse me. So that's interesting, huh? The gold teeth jerk chicken hut. So does the proprietor or the cook have gold teeth at the chicken hut with the jerk chicken? Either way, that's where they met to play dominoes. Okay. So as Jordan and Everton and Sheldon, Jordan, Everton, and Sheldon are sitting around playing dominoes. Well, mainly Everton and Sheldon are. Everton's phone rings, and Jordan's like, "Oh, well, who's that?" Everton says, "Oh, it's business. I'll be right back." As soon as Everton got up, right? Jordan took it upon herself to ask Sheldon some questions. And I'm surprised Sheldon answered the questions because you know what? If you've been friends since you were young and you're tight, you ought to know that there's some questions that maybe you ought to pretend like maybe you don't know the answer to. Because what kind of real friends give away your business if they're not trying to throw you under the bus? But anyways, Jordan takes it upon herself to ask Sheldon, "Hey, so I got a voicemail when I first landed here in Jamaica from this lady. Now we know her name is Linda. What do you know about her? You know, has Everton been talking to her? Has he been sending her money?" Sheldon, at first, he didn't want to answer, but he answered. He said, yeah, you know what? I have been witness to some Western Unions going out for about $100 or so. And Jordan said, "Oh, really? Okay. So what do you know about, them hanging out together and different little things like that? Does he know that, does she know or whoever know that I'm his girlfriend?" And Sheldon says, "Well, I didn't know that it was all about that, but don't worry about those other women because they're the past, you're his future." Trying to tell her like, they just little flings. And so by the time Jordan was going to ask another question, here comes Everton come back from his phone call. So Sheldon is playing it off with Everton. They're like, as if they're having, some jokes being told at the table, like some knock-knock jokes or something, right? So, yeah, it didn't go over well. You know what? Jordan still held her own. She kept all the information in and didn't say anything at the table. Okay, she did better than most because most probably would have said something to Everton, not caring what Sheldon had to say or if he was sitting there. Because listen, if you got the information that you wanted, what's the point of keeping it in? Keeping it in until when? Okay, so then when we see Everton and Jordan, so it kind of like that conversation. Everton came back to sit down. We see right very next day. So apparently, whatever happened, Everton and Jordan went back to the hotel because now it's the next day when Jordan's getting ready to leave. So it's a whole nother 24 hours. Everton comes into the room. So if they're sleeping in separate rooms or not, I don't know. But he comes in the room and asks Jordan, "How'd you sleep?" It's kind of like Groundhog Day from when they were at his mother's house. Same thing happened. Come in the room, "How'd you sleep?" Jordan says, "You know what? Not so well." And Everton has no clue what's going on at this point. She said, "You know what? I just need to calm down. I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk about it." Now, this is when in confessional that that Jordan drops the tea. She says that this whole time that she's been sending Everton money all this time, these months, these years, that she would go without, that she would be skipping meals, she would be skipping bills, missing payments on electricity and everything else so that she can send money into Everton so he could do whatever it is he needed to do and help whoever, like his family members who she thought she was helping. I thought to myself, are you kidding? Jordan, are you kidding? Off and on for 12 years, even before this phone call came out, you have been skipping meals. You've been putting off bills. You've been letting things go to send Everton money to help out whoever? Doesn't the saying goes, you have to help yourself and love yourself before you can love and help someone else? You know? So what happened here? So Jordan packs up, Everton and her get in the car to drive back to the original hotel that she was at before she came to town, so that she can stay there again overnight, spend the day, so that when she goes to the hotel, to the airport, she'll be closer from the hotel there. Now, on the way back to the city, it's a little bit of a drive, Jordan said. Now she's sitting in the passenger seat, burning a hole through that passenger seat. And she finally says to Everton, so I was talking to Sheldon, and he told me about you sending my money to some tramp. Everton said, I know Sheldon had a big mouth. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know your friend that you've known for a long time has a big mouth. You didn't prep him before you came. Like, listen, if she asks you some questions, just say you don't know and move on. Why would you want that extra grief? Because Jordan already received that voicemail that you already started off on the wrong foot about Linda calling, talking about, oh, you think Everton's your man? Oh no, he's really been sleeping with me. So, but anyways, Everton tried to run through the punches, and at first, even though he said, yeah, Sheldon has a big mouth, he didn't admit knowing what Jordan was talking about at first. But see, Jordan then started to get loud and was like, don't lie to me. Pretty much, I know what's up. Then Everton admitted that he did know, and yes, he did send money, but was only a little bit. Okay. And so in confessional, Everton said that, he's known Linda for a long time. They've been friends. She's helped him out in the past with different little things. So if she needs like a few dollars, he don't mind sending it to her. And he don't understand what Jordan's problem is. But I can see what Jordan's problem is on that part. If I'm giving you money to help for the business that I sent money down for, and for your family and for you, it's not for you to give to other people like that. I see that point. But as far as Jordan, like not eating and paying bills and just not doing anything else like that, that's productive for her standard of care and living in the States. No. That's all you, Jordan. So anyways, Jordan was just really pissed the whole car ride back to the hotel. She kept saying, I did this, I did that for you, I didn't eat this. Okay, listen, Everton don't care. Matter of fact, Everton said in confessional, he said, I thought it was me who had to change things for Jordan, be better for her. He said, it's the other way around. He said, Jordan is the one that needs to change her attitude, her demeanor for me, especially if she want to get that ring. I said, So the block is hot when it comes to Everton and Jordan. So, and I'm here for it. All right. So that was the end of the episode. Now, next week is the finale of Love in Paradise. So we're going to see Juan and Jessica at an ultrasound to find out the sex of the baby. Now, if you already saw some of one of my earlier videos, there was a spoiler alert. Plus, it was on People Magazine, and also believe it was on 90 Day Fans that Jessica already had her baby in May. So if you don't know, go ahead and look it up. I won't do the spoiler again. And then we have April and Valentine in the Dominican. Remember, Valentine had ghosted April for 3 days. She cussed him out and went on her business. But hey, they meet up again somehow. And she's saying, oh, Valentine, do you know how much money it takes for me to even fly over here and do things? And Valentine says all she does is talk about money. He said, this is why you never date people with more money than you, because they think that they're superior. And you know what? A lot of times that tends to be truthful for a lot of people. And then we have Jordan and Everton. Now, Jordan is on her way to the airport to go home. She's telling Everton, like, listen, this was not a vacation. She says that not only was it not a vacation, that she's not sure if she's going to come back or not, because Everton asked her, so, there's always going to be a next time. And Jordan says, I don't even know. So, Jordan has that business there and he's the power of attorney. Again, Jordan should have thought about that the first time. So I don't know how that's going to work out when Jordan goes home and try to figure things out to get his name off of things. So sounds like they may be on Love in Paradise again if the series comes back, because looks like they're leaving a lot of loose ends, especially with this couple. And then finally, Scott. Scott says he is brokenhearted by Liz once again. He said it made him do a lot of reflection and thinking. And then he also said that women need to know the truth because the truth will set you free. And then you see Scott walking, and then you see Lydia sitting down, and Scott says, Buenos noches, Lydia. I said, Lydia has met up with Scott and vice versa. This secret better be good. It better be better than Matthew's 2-year possible delay secret to Anna. So yeah. Well, that was the end of the episode. Don't forget to leave me your comments so I know what you think about the couples or the singles on this episode. So until next time, everyone, thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time, and live simply, be grateful.